Not bothering anybody. No, you're fine. I'll let you know.
Stan, Lynn said turn the lights on. Lynn said turn the lights on. We're just getting ready.
And the Cobrua meetings, they're still on Facebook.
Okay? Okay, get going here. Dave, how many do we have?
We have 48.
Okay, we have enough for a meeting, so we'll start the meeting with the minutes from the previous meeting.
The minutes of the November delegates meeting appear in the Cobrua Reporter. Has anyone found any additions, corrections, or? Okay. So, if there are no objection, we'll accept the minutes as published in the Cobrua Reporter.
Okay, President's report. They're meeting up in Tallahassee about insurance. I don't know if anybody's following it, but you should. We pay 3 times more insurance than anybody, our state, than any other state. And it looks like they're going to be against the homeowners. I've been trying to keep up with it, and we don't know what the end result will be. But it doesn't look good. It looks like they're taking some of our rights to sue away and stuff like that. So please pay attention. I know I am. And we'll keep reporting to you about this. But insurance, as Charles knows, is going to be the biggest deal again next year. Okay, Treasurer's report.
Good morning. Our month-ending balance in the checking account is $14,041. Our CD is $37,237 for a total of $51,278. Last month's balance was $52,311. Any questions? Thank you.
Okay, can we have the security report? Who's going to give it? Dana Leash, you going to give it?
Good morning, everyone. I'm here to give the report for the month of November. We had 4,163 miles patrolled. We logged 2,572 calls at the gate. We had 4,114 contractors. We had 2,342 food deliveries and other type of deliveries as well. 74 fire rescues, 2 crimes reported, and 2 auto accidents. That's all for the month of November. Any questions?
Hold it, Dave. Somebody got a mic to give to her? Dave, we need a mic up here.
I'd like to know, Karen from Rexford.
Yes.
I'd like to know what's going on at the front gate by New England Boulevard. They're checking our IDs now, which I think is great, but unusual.
Annalise?
We're having technical issues with the scanner, with the barcode reader at the gates, and to verify the residents, we're asking for a Central Village ID or a driver license. We have fixed it yesterday, so So as far as I know, I haven't received any other reports of any malfunction so far.
Anything else? What are the two that you mentioned?
Was 2 incidents at Suffolk, auto parts that they stole or went missing.
Catalytic converters.
Sure.
Any other questions? No? Yes.
Richard Diamond from Suffolk. The problem was that there's a certain model car, an Element Honda car, and unfortunately in Suffolk, 3 cars it happened to, they were stealing the catalytic converter because it's worth a lot of money, and possibly they were done during the day. But what I want to say is I commend security. Since that happened, we're very fortunate that security is patrolling much more, and even parking, staying 10, 15 minutes or whatever, moving on to another distance, staying to try and keep this, from happening, even though they're not responsible. So if you have that type of car, be very careful. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions for Annalise? Annalise, thank you very much. We appreciate you coming and giving an excellent report. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda is the Cobra Group, not Cobrua, Cobra, headed by Sid Schwartz, and she will make a report. Sid, do you have a mic?
Good morning. First of all, I'd like you all to save the date, February 3, 2023, 10 a.m. in our Clubhouse Theater. The Cobra Group Council, Peter Sachs and Danny Weber, will be here to bring us up to date on the proposed buyout and acquisition of the clubhouse and facilities. They'll discuss future plans and answer questions from the residents. There'll be 3 ways to have your questions answered. 1, in person from the audience, or 2, you can drop your question in a box that will be placed with Sherry at the Clubhouse Information Desk from December 15th through January 20th of 23, or you can email your question before January 20th to the Cobra Group 2028@gmail.com. All advanced questions must be clearly printed or typed, 1 question per page, and contain your name, phone number, email address, and the name of your condo association. If you couldn't write fast enough to get this all down, it does appear in the reporter. Turning to the election, there'll be an election for 3 Cobra Group directors who will serve 2-year terms ending February 2025. The election will take place at the Cobrua Delegates meeting on February 14, 2023. There are currently 4 candidates to fill the 3 seats. The candidates are Regina Apicella, she is president of Guilford; Martin Fish, he's a director of Rexford; Milton Fishberger, director of Cornwall; and Carolyn Haynes, director of Exeter. Additional nominations will be taken from the floor at the delegates meeting on January 10th. Candidates wishing to have a statement published in the February Cobrua Reporter must have the statement 300 words or less, double-spaced in Word format, emailed to editorcobrua@aol.com on or before January 10th. Hard copies, solid caps, scans in PDF format will not be accepted. Each candidate will have an opportunity to address the delegates for 3 minutes prior to the vote on February 14th. Again, if you have any questions about the election or the community meeting, please email it to the Cobra group, or actually you can get in touch with me or one of the other officers of Cobra, and we promise you a prompt response. Any questions? I saw you, Charlie, you couldn't wait to get your hand up.
Microphone?
You can go to the back and use the microphone, please.
Charlie. Here, we use this mic. Don't walk all the way back there.
Regarding 2028, is that going to be posted in the buildings?
I hadn't thought about it, but Mike, can we get a posting? I don't see why not. You have no objection to it, I take it. I guess.
I have no objections to any information given to the residents about anything.
Okay, we will work out a posting then, and it will be on Channel 63 definitely for those of you who don't come to any meetings at all. And then the meeting itself, let me just finish if I may. The meeting itself will then be taped and appear on the Sen West site. So if you can't make the meeting, you will be able to see it. Anything else?
I'll have Sid and Maggie get together about the postings with first service.
February 3rd.
No questions? You finished, Sid? Okay, Stanley, Community Affairs, M&O, and Budget, and Cable.
Good morning, everyone. Community Affairs first. The project that GL Home was going to build on just above Clintmore and west of 441 has been put on hold. The County Commission has not approved it at this point. The GL property next to the school, somebody saw clearing the area. Actually, it wasn't the GL Homes that was clearing it. It was the farmer that still owns the property that was doing some work there. The Thomas Farm property on 441 in Clintmore, that's been taken over by Toll Brothers, and it's going to be developed into a commercial and single-family housing area. Any questions? What's that? That's what I said. The farmer was clearing the area. They haven't done anything yet. I understand he's doing some planting, so it's still in his possession. Okay, M&O. The committee met with management November 16th, present with Judy Milton, the VP, and of Sen West, Monica Wells, Senior VP, and Chief Financial Officer of Senville, and Dan Cruz, Regional Facilities Manager. Here are some of the highlights of the meeting. We reviewed where we're going to be putting in yellow striping on the roadways to make things a little clearer. Thermoplastic will be used. With a canopy to be installed on the walkways in the clubhouse area, we discussed landscaping with Maximum, and Dee will be giving us some ideas. We'll be meeting with the tennis club and the pickleball, well, we already met with the pickleball club to hear what they feel they want to have as a way of improvements. A study was made to see where benches will be installed on New England. We're planning a review of the bike lanes, which is an ongoing project that requires a lot of thought, and it's rough. It's not easy to figure out what to do. Collections from delinquent accounts total $38,400 some odd for the month of October. The night staff is still short personnel. The festival flea market, where we heard stories that it was sold, it has not been sold. There was an article in the Sun Sentinel November 30th, confirming it, that the flea market is still under the same ownership and will be available for people that go, from Century Village. Recently, the last two security chiefs did not last too long. The latest, Chief Rick, resigned for health reasons. We then decided to promote from within. This was successful when we had Steve Stein, which worked out well. We now turn to Judy Bogus, who has been with us since 2019 and has worked closely with Steve. Our experience in security goes back to 2017. Jody was a platoon leader while serving the military. She was responsible for training as well as other responsibilities in the military. Jody holds a BA in criminal justice and is certified in crowd control, CPR, and the use of AEDs. We wish her well. Wishing everyone a happy, healthy New Year. Stay safe and be well. Pardon me?
Is she here? Can we meet her?
She's on leave right now because she has an aunt that's not well, and she put this in before she became the chief. So as soon as she comes back, we'll introduce her to everyone. Any questions on the report?
Can't hear. Yo.
Take that mic over there.
Hey, Dave, come on, get off your ass. Get off your ass. That's your job.
Next month, we're gonna have two mics. We're gonna divide the room in half. Have this half go on that side, and this half go on that side.
Hello? Okay. You said you did a survey on the benches. Were there any conclusions?
I said a study will be made.
Oh, I thought you said a study was made.
There's been a request to have more benches on the New England side, so we can study that. Yes. Any other questions?
Did you do the cable?
Okay, cable. At Monday's President's meeting, Raphael Visbal from Comcast will be attending, and he will be available to answer all your questions and clarify any other ideas or questions that you may have. So, to all the presidents, I suggest you attend this meeting, and this way you can clear up a number of items. 10 o'clock Monday, the 19th. The monthly president's meeting. Any questions?
Do you have that information?
I hear a hand. I see a hand.
Do you have the information? Okay. Okay, old business. Anybody have anything?
Wait,
Old
time,
business?
time.
Yes.
This cable contract has a two-page addendum.
Please identify yourself.
I'm Cheryl Campbell, president of HIVE. For those that you don't know, we are undergoing our 4D building restoration from top to bottom. So some of my questions stem from what's going on with repairing our buildings and the actual bills we've received. So the cable contract has a two-page addendum which addresses putting the cable covers back on and fixing some of the wires. And I don't want to talk technical about that at all. My first question is, why does the addendum exist? Why was it created?
To clarify the current contract, which was not clear on that.
Are you sure? I mean, it's not because people were filing claims about damages and this wasn't done to appease people, to help them feel better that the damages would go away. This is just being done for clarification purposes?
This was a project undertaken to make sure that everything was patched, caulked properly, and all the chases were on
Okay, thank you. So, but because those chases weren't on type, and because, okay, well, we have visible pictures, the associations. In fact, our latest structural engineering report has plenty of pictures where the chases aren't on type, so it physically exists. Because of this, there have been claims, even separate from those pictures, there have been claims. Could you tell me how many claims have been filed on damages that the associations believe are attributable to the cable? Number of claims, just the number's fine.
I don't have the numbers with me right now, but there have been a number of claims.
You didn't have the numbers at the president's meeting either. This question's been asked repeatedly. You can't tell me how many claims there are?
I don't recall the question being asked the number, but I will be more than happy to get it.
You are the head of the cable committee, are you not? You can't tell us how many claims there have been? Okay, so you're saying
Roughly
you can't.
anywhere from 45 to 50.
45 to 50 claims.
Yes.
All right, did the cable committee, as part of selecting a contractor, decide to do even a rough ballpark assessment of what amount of damages might be behind these claims? In other words, not just the number of claims, but the amount of dollars it would take to fix the work. Was that work done?
Any claim that was given to Comcast and became a claim went to Liberty Mutual.
Okay, very good. So now when you're making a decision for a vendor, you not only have to pay them what they want to get paid on a monthly basis, you kind of need to decide how much is the damages that they've done to date going to cost me, and will any future damages occur? So is it correct in saying that you had no engineer do this assessment? Is that a true statement? Did you hire an engineer or not?
There was an engineer or adjuster, whatever you want to call it, not an engineer, there were adjusters that came out and checked all the buildings.
And they are paid for by us, by Cobrua. Who paid for them?
Cobrua doesn't pay for it.
All right. So it wasn't, associations didn't either. It was paid for by the vendor. So we had the vendor's adjuster be the only written statement on these claims. Okay. Did you, so given that this 2-page addendum was written to appease us and get our signature, and those are my words, not Mr. Siegel's, okay, did a structural engineer look at this addendum and say it will indeed solve the problem? Did any structural engineer assess this addendum to say, yep, that's going to take care of it?
We had our attorneys review it, we had Comcast review it, and they had adjusters come out to review the whole situation.
But you had no actual structural engineer. These are structural engineers. You had no engineer whatsoever review this addendum.
The Comcast is the one responsible to have all review.
So this is
So
insane.
the cable committee only worked on preparing, getting a contract to turn over to the associations, of which 11 associations have now approved it.
Okay, very good, thank you. So if this addendum is necessary, and Comcast wouldn't have written the addendum if it was
Cheryl,
necessary.
I don't want to interrupt you, but let me make a suggestion. If you have questions other than on the contract, go to the president's meeting and ask the
The
questions.
addendum
fellow-
is the contract. The addendum is part of the contract. I'm only discussing the
Yes,
contract.
but we don't want to stay here all day talking about
I'm
it.
sorry, when the costs of the
I'm running the meeting,
comes
not
to
you.
light.
You could be sorry, but I'm the president.
Okay,
I'm running the
that's-
meeting.
that's
I can
very
cut you
true.
off. Don't get smart.
I'm not getting smart. I've sent
Okay.
the bills to the president.
I'm the president. You got a couple more questions. That's it.
If this addendum is so important to fix these problems, we already have dangling cable covers. How come they want us to sign before they'll do this work when we're under contract today? Why are they waiting? You think they would be wooing us? You think they'd be out there fixing these problems to get our signature, but they're leaving them unattended. But given that I am on the clock, apparently, I want to know why there was a bum rush on this contract, because Hythe, and you are a director of Hythe, Stanley, has opened all their walls, and it seems to me this thing was pushed through. You knew we had a structural engineer looking at this building from top to bottom, writing reports, assessing the damage. We have the report now. You have received a copy of it. They have said these damages are due to cable covers. They have said do not put these cable covers back on. We have the most senior structural engineer in Palm Beach County, if not the most, then almost the most. He's quite senior. He's been on Channel 12 Coast Surfside. We have the most senior voice of authority saying that these damages are caused by these cable covers, and these covers should not go back on because they're not maintainable. And I want to know why, with you knowing we were doing this work under Senate Bill 4D, you did not wait for the voice of an authority to issue a statement on this. Can you tell me why? Because these unit owners have had their lives disrupted, cracks in their balconies, corroded steel framing behind them. There's a cost to this that is more than just what the association has to pay, which is a big number, and I'd like to tell you what that is. So why did you not wait?
Why didn't I wait?
Why didn't you wait when your own association was footing the bill?
Did you file any claims?
Huh? Yeah, it was just...
First of all, the question you're asking should be answered by Mr. Visco of Comcast. We put together a contract that satisfies all your residents from a standpoint of cable programs, internet programs, telephone. 95% of your residents have been satisfied by this
The
contract.
subscribers are fine.
Okay, that's it. That's it. That's it.
So if you have any technical questions, I suggest you bring it up to Mr. Visible on Monday.
These are not technical questions. These are contractual questions.
The contractual questions we have no increase in rates for the year 2023.
Stanley
What's that?
and Cheryl, bring this up at the president's meeting. It's contractual, whatever it is. You will have someone here from cable or Comcast or Xfinity, whatever you want to call it. You can ask all the questions you want. They will be able to answer it. Thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate
When
your
your
interest.
walls...
That's it, Cheryl. You're
No,
finished.
it may be an
Cheryl,
unbelief.
you're
You're
finished.
gonna-
Cheryl, you're finished, or I'll have you removed from the meeting.
And
You
you
want to be
may
removed
well,
from the
because
meeting?
you're denying
There's security here.
to your delegates.
Cheryl,
You-
don't want to hear the truth, Mike.
You don't want to hear it.
You don't give a damn about the contact with someone like
You need to hear from your
Fred,
special...
bring it up. Bring it up with Comcast.
No, I don't contact with
Fred,
January. Since January, I have not had a complaint.
bring it up with Comcast at the, Fred, calm down.
Hey, what you like?
Hold it, I'm running the meeting.
See
Bring
what's
it up,
happening?
bring it up at the president's
They're
meeting.
denying the damages. They're not letting me...
Cheryl,
structural
please,
engineering
please,
information.
Cheryl, don't let me have you removed from the meeting, please. Fred, bring it up. Fred, bring it up with Comcast. If you don't get the answer, Cheryl, if you don't get the answer with Comcast,
I have the answer. I have the
You're
only
gonna have
answer
to-
that matters. It's the engineering
Cheryl,
answer.
you're gonna have the opportunity next Monday to bring it up. If you're unhappy with the answers, then you can bring it up, okay? Cheryl, security.
You know you got ahead of this engineering.
Cheryl, don't
We
be
just
happy.
got the first bills. They're horrible.
Cheryl, please. Cheryl? Fred, Monday you have the opportunity to speak from a representative from Comcast. If you're unhappy with the answers, then you can come back here. Cheryl, I'm going to tell you one more time, and then you're going to get removed. And I'm not fooling around. I'm not fooling around, Cheryl. You better sit down. You better sit down. Anybody else have anything up under old business? New business. Anybody have anything in new business? Yes. You want to take your mic, please, Greg?
Greg Fasillo, George. In case you like to know the claims, you can put in a claim as a Florida senior to the Attorney General. I gave forms to one of the people that lost their catalytic converter from the Attorney General. You can get your money refunded for anything that's stolen from you. As a senior citizen over 60, you're entitled to get that money. Go on the Attorney General's website, and the forms are there. You fill them out. You send it in with the bill, the invoice from the car repair. And by the way, that means if your bicycle is stolen, which a lot of people have had them in the past, you can get your money back for it. So I just wanted you to know that Attorney General, not the police department, not the sheriff's department. I know this is a security item, but I didn't want to address it to the head of security because they don't make policy. And it seems that the issue is who's coming in at the gate and doing these things, not, you know. And it seems from her report that 4,000 contractors came in. Well, obviously, and a lot of them are not called in. Am I correct, Michael? Michael?
What's that?
At the gate, what is the policy if a contractor shows up and is not called in?
Annalise will answer security questions. I know the answer, but she says she'll answer security questions.
Well, she's only.
She heads security.
What the M&O tells her what to do?
No, I'm the president. Security will answer the question. Annalise, will you answer his question, please? If it has anything to do with security, security will answer the question.
Okay. So a contractor comes in, ABC, electric, and I'm going to Overton, and you don't have them called in. I know, I've seen it. What is the policy? Huh?
Dave, why don't you go up there and help them out? I mean, you know, what are you doing here?
In the village, so we log them in.
I mean, this is terrible. You don't do anything.
We try
It
to
doesn't matter what
contact
they're
the
supposed to
residents.
do. We're not hearing them. That's your job.
We turn them around.
I know it's a lot of work to walk, but, you know, you can't do the job, pass it on.
Most of the time,
Well, then
they're
retire.
here,
Have somebody active come in.
come to your house. And
Why
then
should
you
we
give a
all have to
record of
suffer
that
because you have a
contractor
medical
to the
procedure? It's
neighbor.
not right.
The neighbor is already.
I have sympathy for you,
he's gonna
but I have
pay.
sympathy for the viewers. People are
The
watching
issue
this
is
now. They
how
can't
many
hear it.
contractors are
Don't put
being
yourself
let in
ahead of them. They
without
come first.
authorization from the resident. If it's 1 or 2, 3 or 4, a dozen, but when it turns out to be hundreds, then that's 100 trucks or contractors that came in. And if Richard wants to find out who stole the 3 catalytic converters, it's very hard to find that out. So my question is, why aren't we turning everybody away and doing what we are asking them to do? Only let in people that are authorized.
Why don't you find out the date and the time this happened? We'll have security investigate it. We'll know who they are.
No, that's something that should have been done already. But the point is, if there's hundreds of them, how do you pinpoint who did it?
What evidence do we have that there's hundreds of them?
Again, stop it at the gate. Don't let them in if they're not.
We know that. We know that.
But they're letting them in. That's my point.
But we know that. Yes.
You know what? That you shouldn't let them in.
Greg, if you have a instance when this happened, if 100 of them happened, if you have 100 instances, let us know. You have to come to us and say, on December 13th at 10 o'clock, I know this happened. Then we can investigate it. You just can't say,
Well, wait a minute. Obviously, Marty Cohen, who had his catalytic converter reported it right away.
did you check with did he report it to the police? What did the police do?
I'm not asking what the residents should do. I'm telling you what you should do. Not let them in. That's it.
Fred, yes. What? I know.
We don't.
They didn't finish. Right. That's right.
Richard, it's just another step to prevent
Right.
it.
We already know what we're doing. We already know what we're doing. Right. We already know what we're doing. Show you what we're doing. So we had 3 catalytic converters taken.
Michael, interrupting me.
I'm not going to have you stay up here.
I'm talking to Richard.
No, you're not talking to Richard. I'm talking to the president. Richard already made his statement.
I'm
Please tell him
answering
what he's
Richard's
doing.
question. My point is, we should not let anybody in that is not authorized.
Okay, thank you. Gotta take the mic and identify yourself.
Yeah, I'm Mitchell Schaefer from Brighton. We happen to have an inherent security problem due to the fact that when cars come in through the resident gate in the south gate, people come in what's called piggybacking. They get right behind the car and two cars come in while the gate is up. I spoke to Judy Millington about this, and she explained to me that the problem, I asked about putting another gate in. One would open, get in, one would close, etc., back and forth. She said we can do it at the south gate, but unfortunately we can't do it at the north gate because the north gate is too close to Lyons Road, and it will cause a backup in cars, which can cause accidents on Lyons Road. Excuse me. So the problem is, it's not necessarily even a truck coming in. It's just people could come in cars, piggybacking through the southern gate and go wherever they want. Rob anybody, do anything, and that's the problem we have. Thank you.
Anybody have anything else on the security? To do for good and welfare? Any other questions for good and welfare? Okay, we have the non-delegates, good and welfare. You'll be allowed to speak for 2 minutes. You take the microphone, identify yourself, tell us what the problem is. You got a timer?
Hi, it's Dr. John Garcetti.
Could you speak up a little bit, please?
Hello. Dr. John Garcetti, Fanshawe Association. I thought I read in the Cobrua report.
Can't hear you, so yell at us.
Can you hear this now?
Yes, I can. Thank
Very
you.
sorry. Dr. John Garcetti, I'm in the Fanshawe Association.
No, then now you have to keep speaking when the same tone as when. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
No.
Okay.
Mark, you want to set that so we can hear him, please? I'll give him another mic.
Hello? Hello? Is this acceptable, the volume?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. This is John Garcetti. I'm in the Fanshawe Association. I thought that I read in the Cobrua Reporter that there was going to be a study to determine if we could have an electrical vehicle charger at the clubhouse. I want to know where this study is, or, you know, has it been approved? Can you give me a timeline?
Yeah, I'll have Stanley Siegel, the chairman of the M&O committee, answer that. Stanley?
My understanding, we're supposed to have FP&L come in and do the survey.
Yeah, when?
Let me finish. When they tell us. As soon, we will contact them again and find out when they plan on coming here. Any other questions that you may have?
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yeah, Fred.
Good morning. Fred Hadley, Cornwall 8. First of all, with regard to the catalytic converter thefts, a couple of points. For those of you like me that don't know what a Honda Element is, it's an SUV. So apparently, because of the high ground clearance, they're particularly susceptible to somebody scooting under and removing it. So apparently that's what it is, the SUV. So if you have an SUV, be advised that they're vulnerable. The other thing is, once again, I must remind everybody that we are paying for a citizen observer patrol through our property taxes, and Palm Beach County, after a 2-year hiatus because of COVID, has resumed these patrols, which, as I repeat, we already pay for through our property protection. However, this village, because of a dispute between the president of Cobrua and the sheriff's office, we do not have this coverage. The dispute had to do with should the car remain in the village or may the car go outside? And the sheriff said the car has to be shared. The president of Cobrua says, in that case, we don't want the service. And this has been testified to by 3 drivers that were at that meeting. So I would like somebody in this village, I don't know if it's the president of Cobrua, but somebody should reach out to that sheriff and get us those patrols back, especially since we're having these issues of vandalism. And the final point is, I don't know if you can make that claim through the Attorney General. It only works if you don't have insurance. I know from personal experience, if you have insurance, you cannot make that claim. That would be a fraudulent claim. However, there's another thing you can do. If you have a deductible on your damage insurance and you are a crime victim, under Florida law, you cannot be charged a deductible by your insurance company.
Okay,
if
Fred.
you are a crime victim.
Your time's up, Fred.
Thank you very kindly.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Lee Ravine, Newcastle.
Yes, ma'am.
A few days ago, a gentleman came to my door, dressed in what appeared to be a blue uniform of some sort. He had a tag around, an ID tag around his neck, which was turned over, so I couldn't read it. I don't open my door, I open my jalousie, and I look through. He is from FPL, he's pushing a wagon, and he wants to give me samples. Was that something that was authorized here?
Yes.
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 It would have been nice if we had a heads up. That's all.
We're notified.
It was in the Cobrua Reporter for many months.
I read the Cobrua Reporter, I obviously missed it if it was in there, so you'll have to forgive me.
There's a full page thing in the Cobrua report. When you turn pages, you probably skipped it. Everyone was notified. Everyone that read this Cobrua report. Anything else? Okay. Have a motion to adjourn? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you, sir.
That's okay. Larry Crack, I'm Exeter C. I called Comcast.
Can you speak a little louder, please?
I called Comcast yesterday, and when you get them on the phone, the recording keeps breaking up, and I find it very difficult to get through it anymore. I wonder if it could be done a bit better.
I couldn't understand that, sir. I'm sorry. I'll tell you what.
When I called Comcast the other day.
Yes, Dad, thank you.
The recording keeps breaking up, and I find it very hard to get through to them. Is there any other way to communicate that, to get in touch with them?
I can't keep
The representatives from Comcast are here on Wednesday and Friday between 10 o'clock in the morning till...
Tomorrow and Friday.
Okay, not anyone else.
Wednesday and Friday.
Okay, thank you.
In the clubhouse.
Do you know where room C is, sir?
Yeah.
When you get off the elevator on the second floor,
Yeah.
you make a left and you make a fast right, and it's the first room on your right-hand side. You'll see it. It's a very small room.
Right.
And she's there, and she's very good. They'll help you out.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else? Okay, motion to adjourn. Please tell us who you are, because he's going to yell at me if he doesn't know. Second. All in favor? Thank you.